Sometimes I get in the middle of these rants and I'm leading to a grander point. Look at Pittsburgh where the three rivers come together. How about that? So I'm pulling three rivers together to make a point, and then I'm so ramped up and excited to be doing it that I forget where we're at the airport, where we're landing, the plane of the story. And in this case, when I was speaking just minutes ago about the idea of a glass of water, let's say you take a glass of river water, a glass of holy water, a glass of the Holy Spirit, a glass of mercy. The glass can only contain what the glass contains in its fullness. And so as you drink from the river, are you not drinking the river? In its fullness, even idea of what river is. And if I say that even if you take a sip from the river, and we use the word sip so much to denote something of tiny importance. But if you think about the idea of sip, even that in its tiny amount, which varies based on person to person to person, the idea of sip is sip in its fullness. So even if you drink a glass from the river, if you take a sip from the river, if you get one drop from the river, you've experienced the river. And in as much as you imagine that, in as much as you experience that, if you have the full ability to breathe in your lungs and you're experiencing the full ability of your breath, and if you have a sinus infection or congestion, you're not. And are you looking at those things as matter-of-factly as they are in the semantic space that controls the words? Controls the words? The words are controlled by their definitions. What we've done is we've allowed people to change the definitions of our words for ourselves. And so as you reframe things and as you look as different, as you look in different, I guess, you look at every different opportunity to see that there's no difference. I mean, if your programming is based on faith first, faith, family, work, and as your faith goes, your family will be strengthened, and as your family is strengthened, your work will be strengthened. And in your work and your connection to work, and you're glad to be there, humble acceptance of the value of what it is to work, and how in that manual work of doing, you find your ability to be center focused on that work. And as you disappear into the work itself, you'll find in that silent space a great way to connect with the Almighty and get a crash course in mathematics, a crash course of being on the path. And if you're looking at things in equal amount, I guess that I love the triangle as an idea, because the triangle as you look down a road is a triangle. And as you look as a road behind you, it's a different triangle. And every single point of your awareness from the center going outwards and equal is a triangle. And in the center of that is the direct root of truth. And on the bottom line of that is the equal line value of how far truth has come. So if you have truth and justice, you are the bottom of equal measure. So if you're experiencing truth and justice as truth and justice, you will be in complete conformity. And if you're not, you will have a shape that does not have the structural strength that one of those primary shapes have. And if your foundation of your shape does not stand, it will break. And it will return through the primacy of shapes in the order circle, triangle, square, rectangle. So, our eyes are round. Our field of vision is round. It's 100% this. Even in our ultimate periphery, it's just here. We don't even know what shape it is. It's infinite up and down. That's what's happening. From that standpoint, if you understand the focal point of the center, and that's where it is at the tip of your awareness, at the tip of your measure of the now, as you're centrally focused using the properties of the triangle, and there you are in a needs-based society outside of your wants, And as your wants come in, you attain stuff and your value of stuff and all of the ego stuff that goes along with your stuff. And here comes the square because you need something to put it in. You need more squares because you have more square things to put inside of the square. Things from your want that's outside of the path. Because as you didn't judge the now, your want judged the now, and then you had a thing that brought you to here. And if you think that is an illusion, then imagine what the rectangle is, because the rectangle is the first shape that allows the Fibonacci sequence to exist. And to, if you want to call it turtles all the way down, mathematics all the way down, Mandelbrot all the way down, infinity all the way down. And you should not be surprised that a water-based creature that doesn't understand its language to itself, that's been raised on a diet of lies and media and fear of the other, is now being controlled by black rectangles that give us the information. And if you put rectangular-shaped fear into a rectangular-shaped device and present it in a rectangular fashion to someone who is living in a circular fashion, then you see that for what it is. But the people who don't understand that very thing, then they're being taken down into the levels of that sequence to be given the opportunity to descend in their judgment, to descend in their distraction, to descend away from the here and now. And whose idea is that? That's all I want to say. Thank you. weaponsgradefaith.com.
4256.